Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this Woody webinar. Really nice to have you all today. We'll just wait 1 minute just to give the time for everyone to join the webinar, and then we will get started in really in about 1 minute.
Created with Envato.
Okay, I see more people joining us. So we'll wait just a little bit more and then we get started. Well, I think it's good time to get started now. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us today. I'm really happy to have you for this webinar, the first of this year. Back to the old webinar thing I was thinking, but also back soon to NAB in Las Vegas in less than a month now. So it's always a very exciting time of the year where we can meet people in person. Introduce new features, and yes, have a good time, discuss future projects. So we are really looking forward to it, especially in this 2023 year where we expect NAB to be quite busy and dynamic compared to last year where it was still a little bit calm, I would say. It will be a special NAB for Woody because it's in 2023 the 10th anniversary of Woody. So 10 years of providing software to broadcasters and delivering great projects. Many people we've met over all these years and many improvements we've brought to our product line. So we are really proud to celebrate this 10 years anniversary with all of you in a few weeks in Las Vegas, but also at IBC in September. It will continue throughout the year, so it's not a one-time event. We will make it throughout the year, so we can really get the most of it. And today, the objective is to give you a quick overview of things that we will be introducing at NAB in a few weeks from now. From Woody, but not just from Woody, because as you know, we are in an ecosystem where we work always with our partners. And so I am really happy to have two guests today here with me for this session. Maurice Van Saben joining from Limecraft, head of UK operations. Martin was advertised in the in the webinar post and so on, but he couldn't make it. But Maurice accepted to step up at the last minute. So thank you, Maurice, for being with us and share with us more about this new partnership that we have with Limecraft and what we have already delivered to some customers. So we'll have a focus on this integration and partnership during this session. And then I will have a second guest, Quentin. You have seen Quentin in Woody webinar previously because our partnership with Nunkey has been standing for a while now, and Nunkey is a very close partner at the heart of Intuit Social solution that we provide to news organizations. So with Quentin, we will go through some exciting new features that will really bring Intuit Social to the next level and bring more value to the editorial teams out there working with content from the web and from social network. So we'll start with these two guests, and then after that, I will give you a bit more insight about Woody features to be unveiled and available at NAB 2023, and I will tell you more about how to find us at the show, how to book a meeting with us, and so on. So it's an exciting 45 minutes that we will have together now. As always, you can ask questions, and Quentin and Maurice will stay with me until the end of the session, so they can answer your questions. So please, during the various presentations, type your questions in the GoToWebinar area where you can. And at the end of the session, I will ask your questions to Maurice and Quentin, and we will try to answer together to all these questions. So yes, that's the program for today. And now let's get started. And as I told you, we will start with something very exciting, which is the new partnership that we have with Limecraft. We've been working with that for a couple of months now, and we have delivered our first project to a customer that is already live now. So we are really happy to talk about it, and not just talk, but also show you a little bit how it works and how Intuit Exchange can be integrated now with Limecraft to export content to this fantastic cloud platform for subtitling, transcription, and much more. So with me today to discuss about that, I have Maurice, head of UK operations at Limecraft. Hello, Maurice. Thank you very much for being with us.
You're welcome.
I will make you presenter of the meeting for the time being, so you will be able to share with us a bit more information about Limecraft. And let me just quickly do that. Here we go. And let me maybe start with a first question, a simple one. Can you introduce Limecraft to us? Can you yes, tell us more about what Limecraft is and what the platform can do?
Yeah, I can definitely do that. I gotta share my screen and then look for where I got my presentation. But thank you, Aurélien, for inviting us. It's the last minute, so I'll do my best also to keep on time. So let me share my screen, and I gotta find out where I am now. Here we go. You can see the workspace.
We can see it very well. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So very shortly about Limecraft. We were founded in 2010, and we were ahead of the cloud, so to speak, but very first cloud native media asset management system, and have added to that over the years. And at the moment, we refer to ourselves as the workspace for video teams. Particularly after the lockdowns of COVID, we helped a lot of companies going into the cloud, and you see some of them here mentioned below. And really what Limecraft is, and this is a quote from one of our clients, this was Sandy McIntyre, who's the Vice President of News at Associated Press. We're really dealing with a problem where there is increasing amount of video that needs to be transcribed, subtitled. Requirements are going up and up and up. There needs to be automatic shot listing. So we really worked with our clients to really create a platform in the cloud that can manage an awful amount of video and really enrich that video with metadata, with automatic transcribe, with AI services. And I'll show you a bit of what we have on our platform. And it's going to be very top line because we're on a bit of a time limit. But essentially, we are integrating all these services into one single workspace, one single sign-on, completely secure, completely cloud-based, from automated workflows, integrated workflows, AI solutions, and cloud collaborative media tools, right from the ingest of video to derushing, pre-cutting, pre-assembly, handing it over, cutting subtitles, and then handing it over to either Adobe Premiere or Avid Interplay or Media Composer. That's the workspace. So, as I said, we do offload and ingest of rushes. There is a media asset management system that we do on proxy, which you can organize in collections. You can create sequences. This is our subtitling tool, where there's various clever configurations in the background in terms of spotting rules, which make Limecraft unique, because it is not just cutting up text, There are, BBC, for instance, has a document that is 70 pages for spotting rules. So we have various spotting rules, and you can actually customize those spotting rules for whatever output you have, whether that's broadcast or social media. A lot more detail to give, but now I gotta find this video clip. You can now see the video clip, Aurélien? Yeah.
Yes, we can.
And just to give everybody sort of a flavor of how automated subtitling has moved on literally over the last 18 months. So I'm going to show a clip from Robson Green, Tales from Northumberland, for those of us here in the UK, that shows you two subtitles. The top one is from about 12 to 18 months ago, and the bottom subtitles generated from the audio is what the quality is below. So I'm going to press play, and I hope you can hear the audio.
I'm Robson Green, and I'm taking on a brand new challenge.
This really is the only way to travel around Northumberland.
8 epic journeys through my home county of Northumberland.
Don't look down. Don't look down.
We can see indeed, Maurice, that there was a lot of progress in terms of, yes, cutting the sentences, syncing with the audio, and so on.
Totally. Right, and AI is playing a bigger and bigger role in that. And, we all know how you can take advantage of AI. It cuts down turnaround times. You can create more content faster. You can, through metadata, make it searchable. You can collaborate. But at the same time, how do you deal with those inaccuracies? You may have questions. How will it deal with my workflows? Some of the people here even, but there's definitely a conversation out there in the industry. Will that make my job obsolete? So Aurélien, that starts to bring me to why we're here with Aurélien and Woody, and that is a use case that we worked together on, which we call AI subtitling, for short form video. And that means that we make Limecraft available in Avid and as a panel in Adobe Premiere Pro.
Just one thing, Maurice, before you go on, just to explain to our audience today that we have, as I said as an intro, we have just delivered the first live workflow for one of the major broadcasters in Scandinavia, which is now using Intuit Exchange connected to their Avid production environment in combination with Limecraft. And yes, for transcription, but mostly also for subtitling. So can you explain a little bit, Maurice, what were the challenges of this integration and the expectations of the customer?
Well, the expectation of the customer, and I think it's for most customers, Aurélien, is that what is normal at the moment is that you have to switch applications, multiple sign-ons. And what we wanted to be able to do is to create one environment that you work in, and with a click of a button, you can switch from environments and really bring the subtitling, because there is definitely some intelligence that you have to bring to subtitling that we at Limecraft are quite unique in how we do it, as I mentioned very briefly, through the spotting rules. So we want to make that experience for people to be able to quickly create subtitles as easy as possible. And the case that Aurélien was just referring to is not unique for the Scandinavian broadcaster. This is an example, we call it digital first strategy, from the Flemish state broadcaster. And there's many, many more people that are dealing with this, because subtitling is becoming more and more prevalent. You can see it here, 95% of their content, both online and social, need and require subtitles. So the objective on the project here with Woody was 100% subtitling, digital first strategy. And that includes accessibility for the deaf and hard of hearing, increase the reach for people that are traveling and watch it on their phone and do not use audio. We also want to make sure that content gets seen. So subtitles give you a higher relevance on an SEO level. So it also optimizes your SEO. At the moment, the problem, or what you're dealing with, is manual subtitling takes on average 8 to 10 minutes per minute of video. and it has a cost of 5 to 10 euros per minute. Plus the turnaround time, literally is hours and sometimes days. It doesn't work for short-term video. That's a fast-paced and instant publishing environment. And given the increase in volume, that poses problems on the finances. So what we wanted to do, and that's kind of the general idea behind the project here that we've done for this Nordic broadcaster, is make sure that content creators can produce subtitles themselves. So how do we then automate the creation of subtitles, cutting the processing time and the cost to a fraction of what it is today, and make it available to people that aren't professional subtitlers? So that's what we've done. That's what we set out to do together with Woody, really creating those plugins, an AI transcription and subtitling tool that works in both Avid and Adobe. So rather than having various point-to-point solutions, what we have implemented is an AI implementation that is usable, that works and is accessible, that combines everything into one single workspace. So this is what it looks like. This is the traditional Limecraft subtitler, and I gotta now find the video again, Aurélien. I gotta find my menu somewhere. Oh, here we are. To find the video right here. And excuse the buffering, but this is now how it looks, and the subtitles explain really what it is that people are looking at once it buffers.
Yeah. My microphone is on mute, sorry guys. So, and I think yours as well, Maurice.
It was on mute, and sorry, I just had to go back to my screen. But that's now how it's. So from the panel here, you can go straight with one click of the button, access Limecraft, create your subtitles in whatever language. We do hundreds of languages from, and the combination of language pairs are quite impressive. And I don't want to do this again. Oh, hang on, I'm in the wrong window. Here I am now in the right window. And then, Aurélien, that kind of brings me to hand it back to you, because this is for those of us who are inclined to look at architecture diagrams, how Limecraft and Woody really work together.
Why should you use Miro? Well, when you draw on the whiteboard, no one sees it. With Miro, you plan in real time from literally everywhere.
Video that doesn't want to stop.
Sorry, that's the trick when you play it off YouTube. It keeps auto videoing, so I apologize, everybody. But kind of here, where maybe from here, rather than looking at the diagram, you can show it in action.
Yeah, sure. That's what we are going to do now. So what you see on the diagram basically is Intuit Exchange connected on the one hand to the Avid system, and on the other end to the Limecraft platform. So basically, Intuit Exchange here is acting as a gateway between the Avid world and the Limecraft world, transferring, of course, media for subtitling and transcription, but also the metadata. So this is really what where Woody is helping, and this is what I want to show you a little bit more now with the video. that is showing Intuit Exchange integrated in Media Central Cloud UX. So as you know, Avid Media Central Cloud UX is the unified platform for Avid users to interact with the production asset management, the media asset management, the newsroom system, and Intuit Exchange in the backend is processing the media, but is directly operated from Media Central Cloud UX. Let me quickly start this video, and then I will give you some comments at what we can see here, which is more transcription use case than a subtitling one, but it's perfect because we have seen already how the subtitling works. So now let's have a look at the transcription. So what you can see here is a user logging in Media Central Cloud UX, opening the Intuit Exchange panel. Of course, they have to log in. You can manage all kind of user rights and privileges to decide who can really trigger these workflows. And then the user can choose among all the profiles that you have configured to export the content, in this case, to Limecraft. What you can see here on the right-hand side is also the metadata that we can add and that we can drive completely from the Intuit Exchange panel. So it can be metadata, text metadata, it can be workflow parameters for Limecraft, like what type of workflow do you want to trigger, what is the language that you want to use, and so on. And then when the users are clicking the process button, everything that happens next is automated. So in the background, Intuit Exchange is rendering the video out, converting it for Limecraft, uploading it to the platform, passing on all the parameters. And it's not just about the video, it's also about the Avid identifiers and other metadata. Then in the Limecraft platform, we can see here that we are manually triggering transcription. We can see what files have been uploaded by Intuit Exchange, and here we are triggering this transcription of content. What is important to understand is that this could be completely automated, and of course the triggering of the transcription can happen automatically as soon as the content is available, and that's actually what's happening for this customer. We have the transcription as the result, of course, in Limecraft platform, but that's not all. The transcription will travel back to the Avid system and will then be available in Media Central Cloud UX as well as markers on the video assets. So we have really the round trip between Avid and Limecraft, thanks to Intuit Exchange in the middle, facilitating that and offering to the users in Media Central Cloud UX a very easy and clean experience. I don't know, Maurice, if you want to add anything to that about this specific workflow, or your microphone is unmuted again.
Oh, I think you explained it really well, and clearly you showed it here manually. But what it would do, it would automatically do it. We can automate that workflow so that really from Avid, it's push of a button, going to Limecraft, export it back, and you're done.
Yeah.
And I think
sorry, go ahead.
One more thing to say. No, I think one more thing to say, because it's a conversation that mostly is in the background for people, which is the quality of the subtitles. Given the spotting rules and the custom dictionaries, particularly when you deal with specialized topics, you can put in word lists, so it's custom dictionaries. The word error rate is extremely high. It's like 98, 99%. Okay,
wow, that's quite impressive. And of course, one of the interests of triggering the workflows straight from the Avid platform is that you can also select which type of workflow will happen. So for this customer, we have, for example, transcription coming back to Avid, and we have the subtitling also triggered by another part of the workflow, and then the subtitles can be exported. So yeah, a lot of possibilities here, and probably many more, but time is running. If you have questions for Maurice or for myself, please add them in the questions box. I'm sure you have just a sneak peek of Limecraft possibilities here. I'm sure you have questions, so please use the box, and in a few minutes at the end of the presentation, we'll come back, and we will try to answer them. Basically, just a quick summary before we move to the next topic about what the Limecraft integration in Intuit is bringing: export straight from the Avid Media Central platform, transcribe and subtitle to more than 125 languages, subtitling and localization, content sharing for review and approval. That's one of the features. Maurice mentioned that at the beginning about managing the media in the cloud, shortlist creation as well, and export of the transcripts to multiple formats, or bring them back to Avid as markers, and much more. So thank you, Maurice, and we come back to you at the end of the presentation with the questions of our audience.
That's
but
great,
now,
Aurélien.
time to move to the next topic. Intuit Social search engine has been revamped with the help of Nunkey, our close partner for Intuit Social products. So I'm really happy to have Quentin here with me today to comment on these new features and what they're bringing to our customers. And of course, you will be able to see them live at NAB if you are joining, or of course we can organize also a bespoke demo for you. But Quentin, over to you. Can you quickly introduce us? What are these new features that I'm talking about, that I'm mentioning?
Yes, hi everyone. Thanks, Aurélien, for the invitation. I'm very glad to be here once again to tell you more about the new features. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Not
we can.
yet? Yes, is it the right one?
It looks like.
Okay, perfect. So a few words about Nunkey for those who don't know what we do. We are a French company founded in 2014. And we are a technology-based company specialized in collecting and analyzing user-generated content that you can find on different social media. For editorial teams, as Maurice said, more and more videos are available, and some of them are published on different social platforms. So we decided to provide a multi-source search engine, allowing journalists to search, find, and use user-generated content from different platforms. In the same environment, they can search simultaneously on different platforms. And to date, we are supporting Twitter, YouTube, VKontakte, and Vimeo. They can search thanks to different modes. They can search through keywords, combining keywords. They can geofence an area, or they can search for user lists. And finally, we have some additional features on top of that. For instance, we are allowing the users to translate the content if they are dealing with content that are coming from a different country of themselves. We have some basic verifications features to let them verify the content. And we provide some different types of features to help them regarding the workflow they are dealing with on a daily basis. So
just one thing, yeah, before you move on, Quentin, just to explain that this solution that you have just described is already deployed for many of our customers around the world, and that's it. So it's really proven technology, and now it's going even further. And over to you.
Exactly. Thank you, Aurélien. So what's up for the NAB 2023? Since a few years, we are working on several different features and technologies. The third thing, which is very important, is that we will release a brand new platform with a brand new UI and a brand new user experience. This platform will allow our users, the journalists, to search within the same environment and using the different types I was talking about previously. So they can search by keywords, they can search by location, or they can follow user list accounts. And now they can combine all those different possibilities. So that's the first thing. Second thing is that we will provide more sources. we will support TikTok, Telegram, more than 60,000 online news outlets, and on demand we can integrate new sources. So that's something really important, that we will provide way more sources. The second thing is that we will provide different types, new types of search possibilities. So our users will be able to search in Telegram public groups and channels. They will have access to Twitter advanced search, and they will be able to search, as I said, in more than 60,000 online news outlets. And on top of that, we will also provide new features. So as I said earlier, we are already allowing our users to translate the content in more than 100 languages, but we will multiply that by 2, and the numbers of languages supported will be 200, more than 200. So we will cover almost all languages in the world, and our users will be able to translate the different contents from all those languages. We will introduce a new way of verifying the contents, a new workflow to verify the contents, which helps dramatically with the verification process. Also, we will allow our users to better organize their monitoring process, because they will be able to create some dashboards and some tabs and organize them accordingly to what they want. So it will be very convenient for them, and it will introduce the fact that they will be able to collaborate in the future. Having said that, within one monitoring environment and one tab, our users will now be able to create some widgets that are all modular, which means that they will be able to create some news feeds, some leaderboards, some charts, and they will be able to create a totally dedicated monitoring environment regarding one topic. And finally,
I think sorry to interrupt. I think what's important to highlight here is the modular aspect that you have mentioned. So this is something that we didn't have before in the previous version of Intuit Social, and really it's bringing a lot of flexibility to the customers to have multiple teams collaborating, to create different dashboards, and to visualize the content in the way they want. So I think it's a really great improvement to the platform. Sorry, go ahead.
Thanks, Aurélien. And finally, we will bring some artificial intelligence, a technology we are working on since several years within the platform, within the solution, that will allow our users to do different things. So what can AI bring to an editorial team? The third thing is that we will allow our users to have access to smart keyword suggestions. So once they will search for a keyword, for instance here, missile in English, they will have automatically access to synonyms, translations, keyboard typos, and spelling typos, like in this example. So they multiply the numbers of keywords they can do in the same query. Secondly, as I told you, we will support more than 200 languages. So they will have access to all those languages directly within the platform, and they will be able to monitor events, topics, and so on all over the world very easily. And finally, we are working since several years, as I said, on content qualification artificial intelligence, which means that our AI will automatically analyze all the contents that are retrieved thanks to a keyword, thanks to a location, or following specific lists of accounts, and then tags automatically those contents. So we have already some models in production that you will have access to after the NAB. So for instance, you can monitor situations like fire incidents explosions, railway accidents, shootings, and so on. You can monitor the nature of events. Is it an active event, or is it something that is planned in the future? Is it an event alert? Is it a fact? Or is it an opinion about something that is happening? And finally, the outcome. So there is some people that are injured, people that are missing, people that are arrested. So you will be able to filter all those possibilities directly within the dashboards. And as you can see, it analyzes the content and then provide those tags, those labels, saying that it's this tweet is talking about a fire incident that is an active event and it's a real alert. It's not an opinion.
So basically, it's to filter out all the inside all of this content that we can find online, what is really interesting to us to create a specific story or cover a specific event.
Yeah. As social media are bringing a lot of noise, thanks to that technology, we'll be able to just enter a few keywords, like for instance, the name of cities, and then have access to all the events that are taking place into those cities. And finally, we will provide as well a hate speech qualification engine, analyzing the different signals, articles, tweets, and so on, in order to tag them and identify the ones that are linked to hate speech and that are targeting specific individuals, organizations, specific groups, and so on. So you will be able also to identify negative content about one specific topic, people, or organization. I think that's all. I tried to keep a bit brief.
No, that's perfect. I think it's really showing the possibilities of the platform and yes, what we have prepared as well for you, and that we will be showing now is a kind of a walkthrough, a typical use case, real use cases that you can have when you are building stories, when you are looking for some content. So I'm just taking over again to just show you that. Sorry. I am the presenter again already. Okay, you made me presenter. You were too fast. Great. So yes, I will show you now this video that is a bit summary of what you can do in the new platform. Of course, it's not everything, but it's a good part of it. So let me start the video. So here we are in the quick search module, which is let's say the simplest module of the search engine, where, as Quentin has mentioned before, you can add keywords, you can have keyword suggestion, and you can select what are the social media that you want to search on, and also you can add some localization parameters. So only the content that has been geofenced in Mariupol with some keywords that we have added in English and Russian, and we are searching across Twitter, VK, and YouTube in that case. When you have found content, what you can see is that you can easily get more details about this account. That's what we were seeing just before. So for one account, we can know how many followers, what were the previous posts of this account, so we can evaluate the reliability of this source somehow, and of course preview the video or the picture or just the text that has been posted. And as Quentin showed before, we can translate that as well to have a correct understanding of the post if maybe it's not in the language that you normally speak. So that's one first use case: searching content, combining keywords, location, and then building a selection list basically with this content that you want. eventually to retrieve in your production system and in your newsroom system. That's the goal of Intuit Social, should I remind it, to extract this content and get it available for your editors and for your editorial teams in your shared environment. So you can very easily drag and drop the content, create select a profile, an ingest profile, add some metadata to enrich the content and to link it to a specific story, and of course then get it delivered to your production system. So that's the first use case, the quick search. I come, I search, and I export my results immediately. And of course you can save this search for later on in a dashboard. And this is a dashboard here where we have two types of searches combined together. One which is a list of social media accounts from Spanish government members to see all the latest posts that they have published, and another widget which is a lot of online sources about Catalonian news in this case. So what you can see with this dashboard is that you can easily combine several types of searches in one view, and you can create multiple dashboards, multiple tabs in one dashboard. So all your departments in your organization can. The last one here is a dashboard where we are using AI to filter posts about active events in Paris. That was done yesterday evening when there were some heat, let's say, in the streets of Paris, if I may. So here again, we can find the content that was posted the most recently. We can preview it. We can filter it with the AI qualification to only see the videos and the pictures of the active events. And then we can again add some metadata, select an ingest profile because we can have multiple destinations, and get this content directly downloaded and delivered to our newsroom system and our production environment. Of course, as a result, you are in your editing software or your newsroom system or your PAM, you have the content that has been ingested, transcoded, named, organized based on the metadata, and you can very quickly start working on this content and use it to enrich your stories. So it's kind of the full workflow that you can have with the search engine, showing a little bit of all the features that we have in this new version. Yeah, redesigned search UI, as Quentin said, new sources available for search, dashboards including multiple widgets, different visualization options. I didn't show it because we didn't have time, but you can have leaderboards, you can have charts, also visualization, and using the AI to enhance the results. And again, the value here is to save time for editorial teams to find the relevant content and evaluate properly the reliability. Any comments you want to add, Quentin, on this?
No, thanks. That was quite clear, and I remain available for the questions afterwards.
Yeah, great. If you have any questions about this part, yeah, please add them now in the chat. We are not far now from the Q&A session, so we will be able to answer all your questions. So thank you, Quentin. That's another very exciting thing that we will be showing at NAB, this new version of the search engine. Some of you had already a preview of it at IBC, but it was really not ready, which will be the case at NAB. So now you will see a live product, and you will be able to play with it with us at the NAB booth. So now, what else do we have in store for NAB? So we are releasing in a few days from now the version 3.4.7 of Intuit with new features and improvements. And even if the development of the next release will have started already, the 3.4.7 is what we will be mostly showing at NAB at our booth, and what you will be able to see in action. What this new version will include basically is new watermarking options. That's been a long-standing request from our customers to do timecode burning on the video, have more flexibility with images burning, text burning. So we have improved this part, and you will be able to see it at NAB. Conditional encoding as well has been improved, especially because we have more and more customers dealing with multiple frame rates in the same workflow and willing to preserve the frame rate throughout the workflow instead of standardizing everything to one single frame rate. So that's also something that, that will be part of this 347 release. Metadata fields, you know how much we like to provide really advanced features in terms of metadata handling, metadata mapping. And fields validation is something that has been asked to us for a while with a large variety of use cases where you want to make sure that the user is typing an email in the email field or is typing an ID with a certain naming convention that you have defined, and many other situations. So we have improved that. You can really go far in terms of fields validation now in all the forms of the Woody user interfaces. So it's really appreciated. If we want to export this information to Limecraft, for instance, with a specific format, that's things we can definitely do. And user hints also to guide the users, because we really want to keep our user interfaces simple for anyone. So driving the user to put the right information at the right place is also part of this enhancement. Silent deployment of Intuit Exchange. We have more and more big cluster installations where it's important also to deployment modes. So we've been working on improving that, and it will improve again at the next release. We can discuss that at NAB if you have questions. Improved integration with AV Media Central Cloud UX. Now our Media Central Cloud UX apps are compatible with the latest version of the Media Central platform. We have updated them very recently and do some other improvements. And last but not least, and I can't tell more for now, but I really invite you to stay tuned on this topic. We have the new user interface of Intuit Live and recording backend updates that will be also unveiled at NAB. I didn't want to say more today because we will make more announcements in the coming days and weeks until the show starts about Intuit Live. So please stay tuned, and if you are coming to the show, yeah, pay us a visit, because that will be worth it for all the live recording topics. So this is just a sneak peek of what you can expect for NAB. Of course, all the products will be demonstrated for ingest and publishing workflows, media asset management, integration, and more. So I really invite you to visit us and to come and see what we have in store. It happens when you already know, 15th to 19th April, we will be in the North Hall, booth N1229, and we will be just in front of the Avid booth. This is where you can find us at the show. Regarding appointment booking, we will share with all the participants of this webinar the booking link in case you want to book a meeting with us at NAB. If you are not coming, traveling to NAB, of course, please be in touch by email or any means you prefer, and we can, of course, arrange a bespoke demo for you about all the new features that we will be unveiling. We can have a joint meeting with Limecraft or Noonkey, if that makes sense, if you have a specific project in mind. So please do not hesitate to come to us and to learn more about what we have been showing today. So we are just on time, and thank you everyone for keeping the time because it's really hard exercise. So we do have time to take some questions before we wrap this. So let me just check the list of questions, and then I will direct them to Maurice. So, and to Quentin. Sorry, I have a problem with the GoToWebinar questions box, so I cannot easily read the questions. One first question I see for you, Maurice, is can we export the transcriptions in text formats? What are basically the export capabilities of the Limecraft platform?
Yeah, you can in a Word document, in a PDF, rich text, there's a number of options that you can export it, and you can also choose what metadata fields to export with it, from time codes to who the author is. So yes, is the short answer.
Great. And yeah, subtitle and transcription basically can really be easily.
And subtitles, they can be exported at all major subtitle formats. Yeah, SRT, STL, what is it, WebEU, TTV, and we also now have the option to offer burnt-in subtitles.
Good. Another question from the same person is to understand the licensing and the costing of all the workflow that we've been showing. So we'll be in touch with you, John, to explain you a little bit how that is working on the Woody part and on the Limecraft part, depending on exactly what you want to achieve. We have another question for you, Maurice, which is what is the transcription accuracy in percentage, and how does it cope with clips that have background noise? So that's an interesting one.
That is a very good question. So obviously the transcription is the highest quality when you have a single voice or an interview where people maintain silences. It's highly accurate. When you have loud music or loud background noises, it reduces sort of the accuracy, increases the word error rate, but it's still pretty good. The moment you get, say, a panel show where people are talking over each other, that's where it gets difficult.
Okay, all right. I have another question that is there that's more for the Intuit Social part of the presentation. Is there an Intuit Social mobile app existing? So the answer is no, not at the moment. We don't have a mobile app, but we are trying to make the user interfaces responsive so they can be used as well on mobile devices. Quentin, any insight on this regarding the search engine, if it's possible to use it from a mobile device?
Yeah, not yet, but we would be very pleased to learn more about the needs, because we are thinking about developing it, and we're on the designing process right now. So the more insights we have about the needs for a mobile app, the better it is.
Great, thank you for that. We'll be in touch as well to discuss that. We have another question regarding Intuit Live. Can Intuit Live be added as a Media Center Cloud UX app? So it's not the case yet. We have already a web UI for Intuit Live, and will continue to be the case with the new one. This is something we can discuss definitely to see if we could integrate that as part of the Media Center Cloud UX environment, because this is our aim to have a best possible integration that we can with Avid and with other media asset management and production asset management solutions. So that definitely something we can look at for the future. Another question is about the Limecraft integration with Avid. In what format are subtitles returned to Avid? Is there a STL file available? I think, Maurice, we can have a STL file available out of Limecraft platform, right?
SRTs, STL, web TTV, and burnt-in subtitles. So you can choose.
So yeah, a lot of possibilities here. Another question that is, will ingest of live streams from social media work? So I can answer that because I had this question many times. At the moment, we have separated Intuit social for all the posts, basically from social media and online sources, not only social media, and the live recording that requires, in terms of user interface, different controls and yes, different features basically. So this part is more included in Intuit Live than in Intuit Social at the moment for the recording of live streams. Another question, I think it will be the last because we are soon running out of time, but can take maybe one or two more if you have more. Are we going to see any improvements on the video processing of non-16 binary sources? Thank you for asking this, because indeed what we retrieve with Intuit Social is often non-16 binary. So at the moment we have, of course, the automated recognition of the source aspect ratio to avoid stretching or yes, doing wrong things with the video while bringing it to the house format in the production system. We do black bars at the moment for the vertical videos, but we can imagine, and we have on the roadmap for a while to yes, manage also blurred sides of the video while ingesting it. So that's definitely something we're looking at to improve this non-16 binary workflow. But it's already fully supported to ingest non-16 binary content with Intuit. And also to export non-16 binary, just to mention it, because we have some workflows where customers want to export for publishing non-16 binary content through Intuit Exchange, which is also something that we support already. I think we have answered, I hope, all the questions. So yeah, probably it's time to wrap this webinar. First of all, thank you, Maurice. Thank you, Quentin, for your time. Very interesting information and presentations. To everyone, thank you for attending. Obviously, we will post this webinar, so it will be accessible later on our YouTube channel and on our website. And again, if you want to meet or have a demo or get more information, just be in touch with us, and we will be very happy to help you and to show you what we have. Good day, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending on where you are, and see you next time.